Daring Abroad, brought to you in partnership with Bank Diaspora Banking. Banking just like home.
Greetings from Europe. It is the final days of the month of July and we are happy that you have chosen to spend it with us. My name is Michael Zimanji and you're in time for your weekly dose of inspiration. Now, we met her in Brussels, Belgium, and shortly after we also encountered her in Kasarani, Nairobi for business. Now, I know you're wondering, how does our guest today, Jane Muridhi, handle business between the two continents? Well, that is what we're going to tell you this show. We have that and much more. But first, here is a sneak peek.
It's just the other day we met Jane Muridhi at her yard in Pelt City, Belgium. As she prepared to ship goods to Kenya. And later, we met her at her yard in Kasarani, Nairobi, receiving a container. Jane shares her 10-year journey in shipping business between Belgium and Kenya. We will hear from the founder of Kenya Women in Germany, Jacqueline Achieng Kun, about the organization's forthcoming AGM.
We have over 2,000 Kenyan women in the group.
And on our back home segment,
we are in the process of moving all of government services online.
How the government is helping Kenyans living abroad to invest in their motherland.
With that out of the way, let's start the show.
This container has been in the seas for about 5 weeks. It arrived in Kenya through the port of Mombasa. Jen is all set to receive the consignment at her Kasarani yard that is located along Mwiki Road. The consignment includes various household goods. Jen, who has been shipping goods from Belgium to Kenya, says her clients are so loyal that they would literally be arriving at the yard at the same time the container arrives to sample their favorite goods.
We have another shop in Nyeri. It's in Lulingo, next to the cake depot. And the other shop we have, it's in Kisumu, in Kondele, next to Lila Hotel.
Jen's is a complete story from the source to the destination. Yes, I mean, it is just the other day we met her at her yard in Pelt City, Belgium. In Belgium, her company is known as Jamrik Shipping, and in Kenya, it is known as Jamrik Global.
Naona kama hii, naona vitu zingine kama hii huwezi uza. Na hizi unatupa, unachukua zile, unaweza uza. Yes. Tuna sort everything from here.
Ni gani huenda sana? Zinanunuliwa sana Kenya?
If I may say, it's utensils.
Utensils.
Even if you bring how much it will always go. Zinaenda sana utensils. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And is there peak season when you have a lot of shipping back home?
Yes, in summer we do a lot of containers because people are cleaning up their homes because it's nice weather. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think viatu pia huenda sana.
Sana. Zinaenda pia sana. This is where I choose when I want small things. So this is what I have already bought. All this.
You bought all this?
All this is,
okay.
Yeah.
Waiting to go into the container?
Waiting to go to the container, yes.
So are some already pre-ordered by your customers back home? Or?
Yes, sometimes we have orders before. I do door-to-door picking for logistics, for people who want to ship home. If they don't have transport, I put naweka wote pamoja.
Yes.
Kwa siku moja na wanaenda kuwashukulia that the one area. Yes.
And what inspired you to venture into this business?
I used to buy many things, and when you buy something within few months, few years, ilikuwa haiko vizuri. Especially the fridge, microwave, and It was very difficult for me, so I decided I will try to do it because I had here almost 10 years and I had one microwave, one cooker, and in Kenya I had to buy maybe 4.
Yes.
In those 10 years, I didn't understand, and I said, why can't I just try to bring my second-hand things and see how it will go.
Now, one thing you learn from Jen is that abroad, people don't choose jobs, and you are likely to succeed in what you are passionate about. But most important, work hard.
Living abroad imenifundisha kufanya kazi, heavy jobs. Hapa hakuna kazi ya mwanaume ama ya mwanamke because we have equal gender. Kama ni bill ni zenyu nyinyi wawili, so I work extra hard. Hiyo ndio kitu imenifundisha. You do everything with your own hands. We don't have house help. It's different from home because home you have people who are surrounded you. Here we don't have.
Kibiashara sasa
Yeah, kibiashara you have to be very, very honest. Very, very honest. You have to do the way it's supposed to be done. If not, you are putting yourself into a hole where you never get up. You will not get out of it again.
Take us through some of the requirements to run such a business here.
First, we must have something we call BTV. It's like VAT in Kenya, and to get it is not easy. And to start on your own foot as full-time business person, as a foreigner, is very, very, very difficult. You cannot have people working for you without social security. You cannot have people working for you without papers. So you have always to be very, very careful.
So in shipping, how regular do you take things back home?
Every month I have maximum 2 containers.
Jen has been in this business for over 10 years, but she has lived in Belgium for over 20 years.
The first time I came was 1999. Nikakuwa nikitembea, kukuja na kutembea. I settled down 2003. That's when I get married and stay here permanently. From 1999 I was coming and going back every 3 months here, every other 3 months in Kenya. What
were you doing, kikazi, or what was your preoccupation?
Oh, I've been cleaning people's houses for the longest time. Yes, niko nafanya kazi ya kuosha kwa sababu hapa na lugha na nini, things were not easy in the beginning, na sikutaka kukaa nyumbani. Kwa hivyo nilikuwa nafanya kazi ya kuosha nyumba za watu. Yes. Yes.
Then eventually what happened?
I started this business when I was working and doing the business. So I tried for almost 4 years to looking if it will work together, combination of working and business. And after 4 years was not possible because I have to travel when it's not arranged. And then I get problem, of course, with my work, so I had to stop, yes. Okay. Yes.
Alafu lugha ulifanyaje?
The first thing, ukikuja hapa, you must talk the language. You cannot do anything without a language. So I first went to do the language.
Which one?
Flemish. Then nikasoma language, nikifanya kazi.
So how is the business for you?
For me, I do what I love most. Yes, it's okay. I cannot complain. It's of course we have not every time at equal easy, but because I do what I love, sometimes I fell down and wake up again strongly.
Interesting journey there. And now time for our Diaspora Bite segment before we take a break.
Diaspora Bite, brought to you by TapTapSend. Send money to Kenya from the diaspora by simply downloading the TapTapSend app today to get started.
When you come over here, life is very fast because when you're told you have to be somewhere at this time, it is that time. And if you joke around with somebody else, you miss the doctor's appointment or you go later, it can even be that the doctor tells you no. You have to look for another appointment that you might not get even that month.
Diaspora Bite, brought to you by TapTapSend. Send money to Kenya from the diaspora by simply downloading the TapTapSend app today to get started. Download and use the code ChamsMedia and instantly get a cash bonus on your first transfer.
What an inspiring story from Jane Muridhi. With proper planning and hard work, surely you can achieve a lot. Time for us to go on a break, but when we return,
we have over 2,000 Kenyan women in the group.
How Jacqueline Achinku is bringing together Kenyan women in Germany. Also ahead,
we are in the process of moving all of government services online.
What the government is doing to help Kenyans in the diaspora invest back home. It is one of the largest Kenyan events in the United States, and Chams Media together with AMG Realtors will be front and center. And joining me here at Juja, one of the prime locations of AMG Realtors, is none other than Catherine and Carol.
Yes, we shall be attending the equity event that will be held from the 3rd to the 5th of August at Houston, Texas. So I invite you all to come and join us and learn more about AMG investment.
And also be having meet and greet in different states in the USA, title issuance, goat eating sessions, and we have the biggest promotion ever from AMG Realtors to the Kenyans in the USA. So, see you there.
You're watching Daring Abroad, brought to you in partnership with Corp Bank Diaspora Banking. Banking just like home. It's such a lovely morning at Jacqueline Acheng Kun's house in Königswinter as her family hosts us for breakfast. Jacqueline, who has been living in Germany for the last 27 years, is at the same time preparing to leave for her job. She is a nurse by profession. But before she leaves for work, Jackie is the founder of Kenya Women in Germany, QWIG. She spares a few minutes for a one-on-one interview with us. She begins by explaining how the group came into being.
We first came up as a Facebook group after realizing here there is trouble. When you call the embassy, nobody's picking up the phone. When you try to air something, it's not being heard because you are going as individuals. And now we thought we need that voice. And that is when Huduma number, I think Huduma number was started. And it was like, you guys have to get that Huduma number. If you don't have Huduma number, this is going to happen, this is going, and diasporans got scared. We called the embassy, they could not explain to us what Huduma number. So individuals were calling. I discussed with some few friends and I said, you guys, this is too much. We need a voice. And the voice came to be that voice, and it's called Kenyan Women in Germany.
From 2019, QWIG has been the channel through Kenyan women in Germany have been voicing their challenges.
This is home away from home. It is a place that gives the Kenyans, it is Kenyan women with an outreach of over 2,500 women living in Germany. So you can imagine, this is Kenyan women plus their relatives. We help those who are already here and also the newcomers in their daily challenges to settle in. And it is actually run by volunteers. These are leaders of different chapters. So whenever there is something in a province, the first point of connection are the leaders. We have the domestic violence and abuse group, and then we have the press team, we have mental health group, we have familia na jamii, that is where we teach each other how to take care of the kids because culture is a very sensitive topic. We also having a project with the Mama Fatuma Children's Home. We send them on a year, that is in Isile, in Nairobi. We also send them like small packages. And there is something that QWIG is doing. We have this group called the Golden Girls. These are for 50 years and above. These are the aunties, the grandmothers, the family that you don't have here They play that role of the auntie, yes, which is very, very, very effective. And they play that role of a grandmother. Raising a child on your own here. Home you could live to your mother, your sisters. Hapa hakuna. Here when you're a mother, you're a taxi, you're a cook, you're the playmate, you're everything.
When war broke out in Ukraine, which borders Germany, Quig gave a helping hand to Kenyans who were affected by the war.
We brought them out of Sumy, out of Ukraine, with the help of other organizations. We brought them food where there were no shops. We had to unite with other organizations that were already in there, did the shopping, brought to them like water, rice, other foodstuffs, and medical stuff that were missing. And we also assisted them to get the safe routes of getting out. So those who came to Germany and wanted to go back home, we joined hands, and this is where Quig joined hands again with IOM, International Organization for Migration.
Jacqueline says COVID-19 was a real test for Quig.
During COVID, that is when we realized how people are suffering silently. Before COVID came, we could meet, you meet friends in the park and everything. But here is COVID where you're isolated, number one. Number two, we had a very high rate of domestic violence and abuse. We had over 200 cases to deal with, where we involved the police, where we involved the lawyers, and to save these girls out of these areas.
Quig has held 4 annual general meetings. It is now preparing for the 5th one to be held in Mine City on 2nd September 2023. It is normally a colorful event showcasing Kenya's culture.
We showcase what Quig does. We bring culture in there. We invite people from home, our sponsors, they're always there. We also bring our youths and our children. And we are expecting quite a number of delegates from Kenya. We always invite the embassy, and then we have the delegation from the German government as well.
Jacqueline says it takes commitment, it takes resilience, it takes teamwork to run a successful organization.
We have a board of directors. We have administrators. Filiambo Makora being one of the administrators and also the leader of the press team. This is Jenny Nish. This is my assistant, the assistant chair lady, and also the one in charge of all the chapters, the leaders of different chapters. And then we have Caroline Nyambura Wright, is the accountant of the organization. And then we have Jane Nganga, who is administrator as well, and Priscilla Kibati, who is also in the board.
Another important member is their community manager, who is also in charge of domestic violence and abuse group, Charity Wairimu Ngugi. Quig is a non-profit organization. It depends on the support of donors and well-wishers. One of Jacqueline's strengths as a leader is that she knows how to adapt to situations. You will be surprised to learn how she changed careers.
I came to Germany in 1997. During that time, I was a clearing and forwarding agent. I did my college in Mombasa, in at the Ambalal Towers. That's where I worked a bit. Before moving over, before meeting the father of my kids, then we moved over to Germany. My first stop in Germany was in Tübingen, then moved to Freiburg, which is actually like my second home. When we moved to Freiburg, I decided to venture into nursing. So you can imagine getting out of what I was doing as a clearing and forwarding agent and then into something literally different because of language barrier.
But even in nursing, you needed the language.
I needed the language, but it was not as complex as this because the nursing part, most of the things are in Latin. So that is biology. So if you were good in biology back home, so you have things like trachea, you have things like the palpation, you have things like, they were more of Latin. So you could understand 1, 2, 3 things, but there are subjects where you just need like to be completely fluent. And that was the branch where actually most workers were needed. So it's like the flow. Everybody was like just coming and like, okay, that's the easiest thing to get into. Let me get into that and continue with that.
And that's Jacqueline's occupation in Germany. She now prides in being multilingual, from being exposed to only 2 languages in her village to attaining good command of 5 languages.
I was born in Kisumu, brought up in partly in Kisumu and more of my years in Busia. And till now, more than half of my years I've been in Germany.
Do you speak Luya?
Luya, I mean Samia, let me not put it Luya. I understand other Luya dialects, but I speak Samia. I understand Teso. I speak Luo very fluently, German, English, and Kiswahili.
Associations of Kenyans living abroad are indeed playing a key role in helping solve the challenges the diaspora faces. And Kenya's ambassador to Germany, Tom Amolo, says the embassy will continue to support such efforts.
The most organized groupings of Kenyans anywhere are women. They see the need to come together as they understand the society they live in and to engage as well where they have come. A lot of them are married and are easily German citizens, but they have very strong Kenyan links. We also encourage Kenyans here and anywhere, follow the rules, fuata sheria. If they say do this, do it. You may not like it, but these are their rules. Equally, in Kenya, we tell people, follow our rules.
Amazing story there from Germany. Time now for a back home segment, and today we are hosting the Principal Secretary, State Department for Diaspora Affairs, Rosaline Njogu, and she is going to tell us how exactly the government is helping Kenyans abroad invest back home.
Back home, powered by Cooperative Bank.
One of the mandates of the State Department for Diaspora Affairs is actually to mainstream the involvement of the diaspora in the process of national development. So quite simply, we are saying that Kenyans who live abroad are a critical part of who we are, and we want them to be involved in what it is that we do at home. And one of the things that we're doing as government is trying to work on ways to secure diaspora investments. How do we make it not just easy for you to invest back home, and this is one of the things that my State Department is tasked with doing, is how do we make it such that you can invest in a safe way. So eCitizen is really the doorway to government services. We are in the process of moving all of government services online, which is a great thing for diaspora. The State Department for Diaspora Affairs is also now on eCitizen, and increasingly you will see more services that we offer coming on eCitizen. One of the ones that you will see fairly soon, and this is a request we get often, is I haven't been able to see my brother or my sister in some time. Can you help me trace this diasporian who's missing? So requests for trace are going to soon be available on eCitizen. Reporting distress is soon going to be available on eCitizen and so on. And that will make it easier for us also to manage our backend and these kinds of reports and so on. For diasporians who are trying to set up businesses back home, you can do it, from your phone or from your computer. You don't have to come home to do any of this. So eCitizen is already changing how we serve our diaspora. We've also been on a big mobile consular services campaign. The idea is that Kenyans don't have to come back home to apply for a new passport or to get services. We want, as much as possible, to deliver the services online through eCitizen, as I mentioned, but those that must be done in person, we want to come to them. One of the ways we've been engaging diaspora is really through a lot of webinars, because they're everywhere. Some of those have been public participation webinars, but also we've done information sessions, bits about investment, where Kenyans can come and find out what are some of the places you can invest in Kenya and how to go about that. And we're tasked with finding opportunities in terms of job opportunities for Kenyans abroad. And a big part of my job is actually looking for those opportunities. I think it's important to understand that what as government we do is really facilitating, regulating, opening doors for legal and regular and safe migration. We do a lot of our work on social media because that is where a lot of diasporians are. So to get the latest news or to let us know what is going on, including finding help, you can always follow us, and all our handles are at diaspora_KE. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are on YouTube. And you can always write to us, and this is where we really ask that distress is reported at diaspora@MFA, that's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, mfa.go.ke.
Cooperative Bank, we are you.
How interesting is it that no matter where you are, you still have a link to your motherland? Many thanks to Alex for that informative piece.
But before we wind up, we have been bringing you investment opportunities by Centum Real Estate, including Two Rivers. And today, we bring you Elma 1 Apartments. Located at Kasarani, get yourself a luxurious 2-bedroom apartment with state-of-the-art amenities including a mini soccer pitch, a mini tennis court, convenient retail center, ample parking and much more, all from as low as 6.3 million Kenya shillings with flexible payment plan.
That segment brings us to the end of the show today. On behalf of everyone involved in the production of this episode, we say many thanks for watching and see you next time.
Daring Abroad, brought to you in partnership with Coop Bank Diaspora Banking. Banking just like home.